Cole, I have a question for you. Are you okay? Are you okay?
What is this trilogy of death? I mean, I don't normally get angry at movies, and I got angry at this movie at some point.
You can't even get it in the US.
We're supposed to bring our favorite thing, which I would not have brought this ever into Jaclynn's life and have never asked her to watch it otherwise. So I would like to say that she brought this on herself.
Whoa, wow. Wow. We've officially entered the first moment of gaslighting in our friendship. Okay. I blame Robby.
To be fair, Cole might not have insisted on doing it if I didn't insist on doing it because it was Cole's birthday and this was the movie.
It's true.
This was his favorite movie. So
we had a lot of fun with Virgo season. Yeah. And I feel like when we did Virgo season, which was Robby and my favorite movies, I thought it really kind of like solidified what we do with the pod, or like what's so fun about the pod, right? Which is like, I'm going to bring a thing that I love and means something to me, and then the other two are going to embrace it, even if it's, you know, Hobbs and Shaw or Freaky or Friday. And maybe going in, we're not super keen about it, but like because a person we love loves it, we all like take it really seriously. And so I felt like Virgo season was like the height of that. And then it just really solidified, I think, what like is so fun and good about the pod. So yeah, we couldn't not do that for Taurus season for Cole. It's not an easy watch.
It's involved. There's a lot involved in watching this movie. I mean, I don't normally get angry at movies, and I got angry at this movie at some point. It was great. I was like, oh, this is fun. This is interesting. This is an interesting response to have to like a series of motion pictures. Like, yeah.
I know it's very often the body language of directors, like, so expresses their films.
Amores Perros is a maximalistic expression. The rhythm, the latitude, the contrast, the contradictions, the spaces, the silences, the tone, the style, the attitude, the volume.
I was worried for our friendship, Cole. I was a little bit like, what if I can never quite think of Cole the same again?
Yeah.
But I just was like, Cole's trauma led him to this. I get it.
It fits very well with the horoscope aspect of this, because beyond being Taurus season, my birthday doppelganger, who's deep into horoscopes, informed me that our sign for the 72-hour period overlapping the exact day is actually Killjoy.
And that sums, actually, that's a pretty good review of this movie.
Yeah.
Killjoy.
In Robby's Virgo season movie, you have a dog die as well.
I do. But in my movie, you never see the dog die. You just are told that the dog dies.
Which is terrible, to be clear. Yeah. Like an off-screen death. But I will say part of what was so challenging about this film is you'd see the literal suffering. There's so much dog blood. There's so much dog blood.
Yeah.
There's so much dog bleeding. There's so much dog, like you see the suffering. So it's not even like, you know, that there's dog fighting off camera, or like there's so much like visceral dog pain. So yeah, I thought Robby did us in with his singular sweet, like you follow this dog through the whole journey and then he dies on you and it hurt. I was like, wow, thanks, Robby. That's a real, I thought that was a Killjoy. And then Cole's birthday comes.
And it's not only like visual, but it's also the sound design of like the crunching and the fighting and the growling and the...
Oh, did you use headphones?
Yeah. It's really, it's something.
I can tell a very overly long story about what I knew about it going in, if you would like. Or we could start with Robby.
Robby, do you have a short, what did you know going in, or what should someone know going in?
So I had 3 of them. I knew it was your favorite movie, so I was like, let's watch it. I was pretty insistent about that. It's an incredibly watchable movie, I found. I found it was very easy to watch. It was very frenetic. What? It was full of energy. It moved and it's beautifully shot. Like the city itself as a character and as a setting is, I've never been to Mexico City before, but it really did Mexico City proud. Like it looks really good. And then I had a very different, I was shocked by the dog violence and the dog death, but I was also I was fascinated by how those animals are treated. And I think the way that they're treated in each of the different stories is everything about the movie. Like it's so important to the world of the movie and the story and the characters that each of these, like the important part that the dogs play in their lives, but the way they are treated says a lot about who they are as people and the way the culture treats everyone in the movie.
Cole's eyes are like watering. He's so proud of you for saying that, Robby. He's like, I know. That's exactly what I believe. I can tell. It's a metaphor. Yeah, it's a metaphor. God. I have a number of things that I liked a lot when I was younger. And upon growing up, it is like shocking how much they reveal about me and like my trauma and like how much they tell on me, or like how much it was like, oh my God, that I saw myself in that. And I couldn't I didn't have like language for what I needed. And that's how I felt about watching this film. I was like, oh God, I don't know that Cole actually wants any of us to watch. This is so deeply revealing. I'm seeing Cole split open and his guts pouring out in front of me. Like I'm seeing his trauma and his pain. And I was like, oh my God, this is my best friend on film. Oh. Whoa. Yeah.
I went a long time without rewatching this.
Yeah, understandable. Yeah. So it's like I'm giving you a hard time because it was hard to watch, but mostly I actually feel pretty empathetic because I'm like, oh God. I also identify with the experience of being really attracted to a film and then slowly over time realizing I see now. Oh goodness.
I was not aware that people didn't like this director and that a lot of people really hate his movies. And that's and people weren't about this movie.
No, you can't even get it in the US. That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
You can't,
that's very important. You can't actually watch this movie in America.
Yeah, great choice for the pod. Way to grow our subscriber base and listeners. Let's only watch movies unavailable in the United States. Yeah.
Did you know that, Cole? Did you know?
No idea. I assumed it was widely available because I was like, this guy's won a Best Picture. I think multiple times.
I tried. We tried.
I just assumed that it would be on the Criteria Collection or something, like a streaming service.
I thought I could buy it off of Amazon. I couldn't believe I couldn't even purchase it. They were like, nope, nah. Yeah. Not for the American subscriber base. If we get to the point where we ask what I liked about this film, it got me to get a library card. Because it was available in at least 2 of our local libraries. So shout out Henrico Library System and Brooklyn Library.
Yes.
Though I will say I was having a lovely chat with the librarian. She was awesome. Delightful. And I got my library card. And then I was like, oh, by the way, I think I have a film that has been put on hold for me. And she got it, looked at it, and didn't talk to me again.
At first, it seemed possible that squeamish international audiences would not even get to see a film that was widely dismissed by foreigners at the time as the Mexican dogfighting movie. It was a rare example of a single film that changed its nation's cinema forever.
So here is my story about what I knew going in and why I'm so grateful I didn't watch it earlier. Cole and I have been friends for a really long time and really good friends. He's honestly just one of the best humans in my life, despite the fact that I give him so much shit. But one of my favorite shows of all time is Mad Men. And one of my favorite quotes from Mad Men is, "Not great, Bob." And I just think it's so funny. It's standalone funny. It's like this beautiful, beautiful scene. Actually, we should study that scene on the pod. It's my favorite quote. And like something like 7-8 years after Mad Men has gone off TV, I find on the internet this hat that has that quote on, and I buy it. I've wanted it on a hat for like literally years. I find it on the internet, buy the hat, and a week after that, we're talking 7 years. This is like my newfound favorite hat. A week after that, Cole buys us matching hats to do a photo shoot, because this is like a thing we do. We do like pre-movie photo shoots, or at least we did before we started watching so many movies. But we do these like elaborate photo shoots prior to movies that had themes. And so for Barbie movie, we dressed in all pink, and then Cole bought us both matching pink hats. And my hat said, "Not great, Bob." So like a week after I bought myself the same hat, he bought me like my favorite thing for me, right? Like that, I can't quite describe like how amazing that is, but it's like, so I didn't tell him about the hat that I already had for like 2 years. He didn't know about it until I left New York last year. I accidentally wore it out when I hung out with Cole, and he was like, "When'd you get that hat?"
And why is the hat that I got you a different color than the hat that I got you?
Why is it blue? But so we have these like matching hats. So mine is my favorite quote from Mad Men, right? "Not great, Bob." And Cole's is Amores Perros. Now would be a great time to mention I am half Mexican.
Okay.
And you would never know that because my name is Jaclynn Larrington, and not that anybody can see me right now, but I look like this. I like look very white. I act very white. I didn't know my dad's half, so I don't actually speak Spanish. I know basically nothing, but I like to pretend I do because I'm half Mexican, and so I have like a bit of an overconfidence about the Mexican culture. So I decide that it's adorable that Cole's favorite movie is I Love Dogs, because I assume amore being love, and I decide Perros is dogs, and so I'm just like, I can't believe that all this time, like my best friend has this like soft heart, and he has this like I Love Dogs movie. And I think I say something like that to Cole. Like I was like, "Oh, loves dogs," and you're like, "Life's a bitch," and I was like, "Ha ha ha," whatever. I don't think anything about it. A year passes, and I like have a friend who's like if Cole was like into fashion and a female. Yeah. This is this person, Worthy. Shout out Worthy. I'm out to breakfast, and I've decided I'm gonna like, for the first time ever, because I don't set Cole up with any of my friends. For the first time ever, I'm like, I'm gonna make this happen. I'm gonna set it up. Worthy loves movies. She knows like every movie there is. They share, like she's super cool in that way. She's really creative. She's got a crazy brain. Yeah, and she has like really, really cool perspectives about the world. Her and Cole are so the same. She sort of exists.
Worthy has beyond a poker face.
So I'm, kind of like, oh, I'm going to get them together. And like, I bet she knows this film, and it's probably her favorite film too, if it's Cole's favorite film. So I'm like, his favorite film is Amores Perros. And she like recoils. And I'm under the impression, because I've done no research and I don't actually speak Spanish, that it's I Love Dogs. So I don't understand why she's so upset. And she's just like it's just dog murder. Like it's all this dog murder. And I was like, I'm in shock. Like I was like, there's no way that my best friend loves a movie about dogs. I think I texted you after, and you're like, yeah, it's kind of the whole film. So like, it took me like 2 years to know that this wasn't I Love Dogs. Like I thought it was like some deep art film about dog ownership or something.
I like that you at least knew that it wasn't a romantic comedy.
Yeah, no. But so then I just knew that a whole bunch of dogs died, and then I've just been asking you ever since, like, how many? And you were like, it's bleak. So I did. I knew that it was, and like if you had seen Worthy again, like
Worthy's favorite filmmaker is also quite bleak, Michael Haneke.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. She's down for bleak. Like Worthy is down for bleak. Yeah. That's so real.
The fact that, I think causing injury to animals in any film is like a way to, like, you can cause all sorts of injury to human beings, but once you get animals involved, it's like humans recoil in a different way. Like you've touched something about like something that's pure or maybe innocent. The only thing a person should know going into Amores Perros is that a lot of dogs suffer or die. Like it's a big part of the movie.
I know that the animals weren't harmed, and we should probably say that up top. The animals were not harmed in the making of this film. But to me, that's just baseline. None of it needs to happen. Like, Breaking Bad tells the same story over the course of seasons. And do you know how many dogs die in Breaking? None. No dog. You don't need the dog metaphor. You could do it without the dog metaphor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a choice.
I'm just really glad it's not your film, Cole. That would probably actually be pretty challenging. To quote Robby's text to the group, lot of dead dogs, ... lot of dead dogs.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree that's a key component to know going in.
Yeah, not a date movie. I would not
a date movie.
I would say not a date movie.
Yet typically, Iñárritu and his team had prepared for this. An electronic press kit documented how no animals were harmed in the making of the film. And the director himself remarked sardonically that if the dogs didn't die, nor did he kill any actors in the film's spectacular car crash.
I need to say really quickly, the thing that I love most about this movie is that it makes you believe things that aren't real more than almost any other movie. It makes you believe in things aren't real. Like when you say, it's a magic trick. Like making you believe that these dogs are killed is a magic trick.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The way they lug the dogs from... Like,
God, the lugging.
I mean, it's like, Jesus Christ. I mean...
There's like heavy, like that like heavy weight of of death, where it's like your literal dead weight. Oh God, the lugging. There's so much lugging and dragging.
And it's like they've done it their whole lives. It's like, it isn't like they feel bad about it or that it's new to them. It's just like
Oscar award-winning performances. Like when you think about it, about what good actors these dogs are, it's kind of fun because you're like, look at that dog playing dead. That dog is, look at that. That dog was like, got it. I'm on it. Roll sound speeds, roll camera.
Yeah.
Dog's like,
yeah.
Yeah.
You can just picture them. Cut. How'd I do?
Yeah.
Wait,
can I see the film?
Can I have just one
Can I see the playback?
Yeah.
I need a little more direction here. Like, what am I feeling in this moment? What's my...
I could do this so much better. And outtakes.
I need to see them laughing off camera in between takes.
Yeah. Oh, when I was doing Shakespeare in the summer of 2009.
In between films, I'll be on Broadway. I do. I need their filmography. It would have made me feel a lot better.
So we have a lot of months in advance with a great trainer. Larry Casanova was called, and he trained all these animals, and he got these street dogs to... I put Emilio Echeverria, the actor of Chivo, to really spend months with these guys in order that when he walks, the dogs were really attached to him. So you can see that in the film. It was sensitive stuff, and what I'm happy is that when they hit, you swear that they are fighting, but that's the art of cinema.
Cole, what did you know going in?
The first time versus this time.
Yeah. Let's start with the first time. What was it?
2010, 2008. Somebody had shown me Y Tu Mama Tambien, which is in comparison sort of like Mexico City's feel-good breakout indie film that launched the career of a person who did like a Harry Potter movie and Gravity.
Yeah.
And I really enjoyed it, but I was like, if this is this good, there must be something even better. Let me Google what else was happening right at that time, and got pointed very obviously to Amores Perros.
So after you saw it for the first time, what was your response to seeing it?
Yeah, 2010, Cole.
I did not know anything about making movies. I didn't know anything about writing, especially writing well. I would have just finished writing a manuscript for because I didn't even want to call it a novel because it was so poorly received by the 12 people who, literary editors who read it and who all put a big red X on page 187 and said, "This is where I knew you shouldn't be doing this."
Oh my God. Mm-mm. Then are you saying that this is what made you want to make movies, or a particular type of movie? Or
I think it made me think I can't make movies, and I think it made me think the bar's too high for what has to get done if this is what we're calling like a tiny indie film.
Oh,
I mean, that's fair. It's wild when you think of it as an indie film.
Yeah, and it was right at the point where you couldn't just go grab a camera because you had to have film.
I'm glad you like asked these questions, Robby, because it's so interesting to hear when you saw it, Cole, because my theory about it, right, is like this film is very of its time. Like it reminded me a lot of Pulp Fiction. It reminded me a lot of Go, the movie Go, like a lot. And so to me, this felt like baby Cole sitting around like being very of the time, but like how could I like be different? How could I be a pansexual mixologist from Bed-Stuy who likes like the cool version of this very popular thing? It just feels so like of its moment and of its time and of like a language that's already happening in film all around it. And so to me, I just was like, of course he was like, I could like Pulp Fiction, but like everybody likes Pulp Fiction, or I could like Go, but that's for like Jaclyn's, and the Jaclyn's are so lame. So I'm just going to like the Mexico City version of this like very specific moment in cinema. But I guess that's not quite what happened. But that's the story I put around it. I was like, of course, our pansexual mixologist from Bed-Stuy couldn't like the normal version, couldn't like the movie version of this.
I can't imagine watching this now for the first time and being a person who's like, oh, I'm on Letterboxd and I like watching movies. Like I just love going to movies and not thinking, wow, I've seen that movie a lot of times. Heck, I've seen that movie as a rom-com even.
I will say Go and Pulp Fiction came out before it, but I will
disagree that it has anything to do with Pulp Fiction, even though I understand how in a reductivist mindset you could do that.
Like I said, it's gaslighting has entered the friendship. Robby's just, I'm afraid for Robby. Are you okay?
yeah, I can't. I mean,
Robby is shaking his head in dismay.
Foreign critics compared Amores Perros rather to another recent narrative in 3 parts, Pulp Fiction. However, Tarantino's playful irony could hardly be further from Iñárritu's intense solemnity.
I'd really just prefer to liken it to the film Rashomon. One event, multiple perspectives. Which, if this makes 17-year-old Jaclynn feel better, Rashomon is the #1 film that I've never seen, I will never see, and I will reference every day of my life, nonetheless.
you should see it. It's amazing.
That does make me feel better.
As I prepared to write a book on the film for the British Film Institute, where it would already be acclaimed a modern classic, I became more aware of the complex symmetries and repetitions of the plot that are not visible on first viewing. It is a complex and ever-changing jigsaw puzzle of interlocking stories by screenwriter Guillermo Arriaga, already a respected novelist, that is still, in the supposedly final version, different to the final cut.
The editing was exhausting. I remember I spent 8 months in my house editing Amores Perros, so the amount of choices I had, the way it could be infinite possibilities. So yeah, it ended up being differently, but at the same time, spiritually, I think it contained the cell that we were trying to do it, you know?
Then it feels like it's time to ask, especially you, Jaclynn, because it seems like you might have a short answer. When were you in or when were you out of Amores Perros?
I was never in. I was out from the day I had breakfast with Worthy and she said it was full of animal death. So I was out as of February 2025.
It almost sounds like you disassociated just to watch the movie.
I did. I think one of the questions on our Google Doc is like, when did you start to cry? And I was like, I didn't. There's no emotion present for the viewing of this film. I had to turn off all empathy to make it through. So yeah, I didn't cry in this film. But yeah, I was never in. I can respect the film, but I did not enjoy it.
In answering the question, when were you in or out in the Google Doc, you wrote, I was out at, all caps, the DVD menu. DVD menu.
Did I really? Dang it, what was
and then
that?
you repeated it. The DVD menu.
I guess just before I started watching it. Thank you. Now I actually remember why I wrote that down. Then I had to borrow a DVD player in 2026 to watch a film I didn't want to watch. And I was out before I hit play. I wanted to like it. I liked the idea of it. It has all the elements of the things I want and I enjoy in a film generally, you know? Dogs, interweaving stories, a hitman with a heart, a runaway escape plan, and like a tiny fuzzy dog and a supermodel. Like all of those are things I enjoy about a film. But yeah,
this is very Hobbs and Shaw.
Yeah, I do think I asked you, are there dogs in it? And you literally just went, yeah. So funny to me.
Then let's go to what's the number one thing that we each want to say about this story?
I mean, I want to give it its due because it's kind of extraordinary movie. But the thing I want to say is like so many dead dogs. Like
I had read that it was like so many copycats followed doing it that he just now calls it Instagram filter look. Like he's like it was fucking cool. Now I think it's real lame.
That was more so what
real.
I expected. That's why I didn't research it anymore, because part of the many of the things that Jaclynn shows me from her past are so stylized in a way that is dated that I can barely handle it. And
welcome to your favorite film. Everything about this was like, this is just all of your insults were projection. Like watching this was like, whoa.
No, I don't bring this up. I don't shoot like this.
I digress. I disagree. The closing scene is gorgeous. My favorite scene of the whole film. Closing scene is gorgeous. And I wrote down gorgeous closing shot, metaphor, inspiration for all of Cole's best DP work. So bullshit. You know how we have that yellow dress in Married and years pass and then all of a sudden I'm watching my fucking favorite scene from La La Land and it opens with a girl in this yellow dress and I was like, oh my God. Oh my God. That's my film. That's how that is. Like you think it didn't inspire you, but it's like that closing shot has been the inspiration for literally all of your best work. I was like that. Oh, there it is. So you do, and that's a compliment. That's a compliment. But I think it had more of an influence than you think. Maybe not the whole film, but definitely the closing shot. But also like respect to the filmmaker. He made the film he wanted to make. That said, I will never let you live us down. I know you wish I hadn't seen it. Because Cole's favorite movie is just the most on the nose, multiple metaphors, and an intertwining story in a highly stylized format. You have given me so much shit for all of that whole life. Anyway.
But what was the reaction? Okay, you saw it for the first time with an audience. It's a nerve-wracking thing in Cannes. No?
The people, when we show the film, they went out of the theaters. I remember in Cannes, in the Semana de la Crítica, half of the screen theater went out. And in New York Times Film Festival, I remember that there was booze and like 20 people went out.
I heard of this movie when it came out and then heard of 21 Grams and Babel.
For sure.
But have not seen, the first thing of his I saw was Birdman.
Same, and I hated Birdman. God,
I liked Birdman a lot. I really liked Birdman a lot. I like and I can see where like this did remind me of Pulp Fiction quite a bit, and I thought it was a less effective version of Pulp Fiction.
Correct. It was a less effective version of Pulp Fiction.
But
sorry, I celebrated that too hard.
Pulp Fiction had everything to do with like pop culture, and this does not have. This is something much different, and it's very distinct.
Is different.
Like it's a distinct.
I agree.
It's a distinct voice.
It is a distinct voice.
What if I made Pulp Fiction, but it actually showed people like they are?
I couldn't get over how blue it was, which is why I spent so much time researching it. And a number of things said. But it does. So the bleach bypass technique also results in higher contrast colors and sharper textures, which I did. I didn't know how to define what I was seeing because it was like the colors were so sharp or like they were so contrast, but it was also so blue, which I found very distracting and very of the time. And that's part of what reminded me of like I don't know, it felt very early aughts to me of it was very early Instagram filter. And then like Instagram did sort of steal all of that and like put this like gritty colored stuff, like colors over the top of photos. And so I did have to keep reminding myself, like, this is a film, you're in 2026 watching a film in 2020. So it's not dated or like overdone, right? Like Instagram, everything came from this. Like it did feel like it really it felt like it was so cool that it absolutely set the standard that like took over the aesthetic for millennials.
I just wonder, when I saw this film, it felt like nothing I'd seen. It just felt fresh.
So I think at that time, the way I shot this film came from the guts. These are my strengths, my limitations. This is the things that I count with, and let's go. And Mexico City has a lot of colors, primer colors that suddenly when we were doing tests, we found that the colors bring a kind of a different texture of it, and that milky thing suddenly was integrated in a beautiful way. Now it's a process that laboratories are not doing anymore because it's super dangerous. I mean, it's everything that laboratory, all the things that go into the pipes is prohibited now in the world. Actually, you cannot do it anymore. But anyway, at that time we did it, and that's the reason. Basically, it was in a style that was very proper to the film.
I'm also making it up. It felt like there weren't a lot of wide shots. You know, there were it was a lot of close-ups and medium shots. So especially in that second story with the model and the older man, and everything was very claustrophobic. Even the shots that were when El Chivo, the assassin, was following the guy who he's been contracted to hit. They show him driving into a parking garage, but you're not seeing the whole parking garage. Mm-hmm. You're just seeing like the part that contains the entrance where he's driving down inside of it.
Tightly framed.
Yeah. And then when he's watching the guy walk down the stairs with either the mistress or it's still like you're seeing the staircase and then you're seeing like a sliver of the building.
It's claustrophobic.
Which is what made that final shot so beautiful, which was like there's a world and he's going out.
Freedom.
In support of your statement, Robby, my reaction for the first third of the film was, wow, there are way more wide shots than I remember. I probably remembered none.
Okay.
It felt very claustrophobic, very tightly framed. There's a chaos to it, and there's they're all choking on their own lives, right? Like that. So I think it's shot in a way to make you feel like that, right? Like they're all trapped in their like own bad decisions and consequences and their own fantasies. Like I think it's a film about fantasy. And so even the wide shots were like very tightly framed. Like if I'm looking at like the car accident is one of the few like wider shots I can think of, is like El Chivo was like watching the car accident. Like that was one of the quote unquote wider shots, but it's still really tightly framed on like, this is the corner and here's where you need to be looking. And it felt like any wide shot was still like very specifically framed. And that I agree. That's why I think you're inspired by that last shot, Cole, but that you don't tend to film the way that 99% of the film is, but that last shot did feel like freedom. It was, I loved the last shot. Like I loved it. It was metaphoric and just in such contrast to the rest of the film. But it is interesting that like what you remember of the movie initially is that they don't exist. Like that's good. It's a good use of cinematography as storytelling.
Yeah, I remembered 0 wide shots. And when I saw at least 3 wide shots, I was like, this is the most wide shots I could have imagined. Holy cow. And I will admit that girl in front of blue or turquoise-ish house near the beginning, and Kofi, the dog, runs off to the right, and she goes after him. There are definitely 3 shots in Married where it's like, yeah.
Okay, maybe it looks a little like that one. I think you're a master of a wide shot, Cole. So also, I just wanted to say a thing I love since we're on cinematography is, and some of this might have been projecting, but there's definitely one shot where you're seeing it from the dog's eyes. But I think part of that intense framing is you see it through, you're kind of like as if you're at dog level, or you're looking like there's a shot where you're looking through a window, almost like you're on the ground and it's like you're at dog level. Like the perspective is a little uncommon or odd. And I think it's because you're actually like at a dog level looking at the scene.
Do you remember where that happened?
Definitely when like you're in the dog fight. So like you're in the dog's perspective, and then we're in the alley. In the very beginning, there's like the alley, and you're watching El Chivo, and he gets up and he sort of has like the big, I don't know if it's a machete or he has like a big club, and he basically is like, don't F with my dog. And if you, at that shot where you're looking down the alleyway and you can kind of see him off in the distance, that felt like strangely low to me. And then there's another one, and I wished I could have watched it. I didn't want to watch it a second time, and I'm sorry. I think it does this a bit of a disservice, but I just couldn't do it, especially to like watch it so closely. But there was another one where El Chivo is also like sitting at a table, and you look through a window, and it looks like it's a low window that's looking into a basement. And so it's like the window's kind of high and it sits above him, but it's because I think he's in a basement. And so I don't know if I'm making any sense. Like the window is high up, but because it's in a basement, and you're looking at like the perspective is really interesting. It's like this tiny window close to the ground, and you're looking down at him, and it's a beautiful shot, I think. But it just, to me, it also felt a little bit like if a dog was outside, you'd be at a dog's eye level looking through this window at El Chivo. So those were the times I noticed it and thought about it. And so I found it, there'd just be a couple of times where the perspective was like, I've never like sat in this perspective.
That's so
and
cool.
Then, so I thought that like, then I was like, maybe we're at dog's perspective.
That's really cool because of course you would have a shot like that. The one like outstanding image for me that sort of kind of serves as a basis for everything is just the beginning of the dog fight where like two owners are like holding the dogs back and you know, and then they let the dogs go together and then they separate them so that they're either getting the scent or they know who they're supposed to be fighting, and then they just let go. And that's like every single relationship in the movie. But the way that it's done is, I mean, the image itself is so potent because it's like you're waiting for something. You're waiting for something to happen. Something's about to begin. And if I'm remembering, I would like to go back and see some of these images because they felt like they were done either from different angles or different perspectives, you know, so you weren't always seeing it from the same thing. Like part of the human was cut out, or part of the dog was cut out, or you were looking at somebody watch this thing happen with like eyes and like with anticipating eyes. And it really creates that kinetic energy of like, this is what this movie is about, or this is very important to the action of the movie or to the relationships of the movie. Like it was stunning. I really like that.
Hearing what you're saying about it from both of you rather than what I see in the cinematography, I'm more so inclined to be like, yeah, no, that exactly tracks. Of like my number one, I don't know what the word is, but if I like look at a frame and I see that it's from the perspective of an average height male's eyes, you've added nothing to this whatsoever.
Right.
And maybe the most emotional and the most reaction that Fish has ever given me. Fish, by the way, was a photographer as a child, like on film. People would like hang her work in galleries, and she was just like, no, I just like walk around like, yeah, this is all the most normal thing ever.
Shout out Fish.
Yeah, I was. If I'm ever trying to like do a good shot, I'm like, is this gonna impress Fish?
I feel like Cole is my best friend and Fish is Cole's best friend.
Yeah, somebody gave me a framed print of their work, and was like, we've like developed a bond. Fish is in the room, across the room, watching the scene of this gentleman basically saying, we've developed a bond. I thought that I should give you a framed print of my work. Like, we have conversations about photography and about life, and this is a deep connection. I was just in Spain for 3 months shooting, and I came back with this, and I need you to have it. And he gives it to me, and I thank him, and it's like I keep it genuine, but like 2 seconds after he leaves, Fish makes eye contact with me and just can't deal with this photograph that I've been given. And I drop the frame away from my face. I say, yeah, he shot it in a parking lot, which is just like he stepped out of his car, took a real fancy camera, real pretty vista, but clearly the perspective was click, average American male height, shot from a parking lot.
Right.
The fish was ran across the room and hugged me like, yes, you saw it too.
Yeah.
So since then, and maybe since this movie, I'm like, I don't ever need to see a frame from average American height.
Right. I want to say something really pretentious, so I'm going to.
Yes.
So when you shoot things, you don't want to just do it from the normal. When you shoot things, you don't want to do it from just a standard angle of someone standing and looking at something.
I literally will never allow a camera to be placed at anywhere between 5 feet and 4 inches and 6 feet high off the ground, the height of the eyes of somebody who's I'm just some dude, and this is where my eye level is. That's just, I would sooner knock the tripod over and be we're not shooting the scene than shoot from that perspective. But then metaphorically, it's really an excuse to just free up being able to look at something from any other perspective.
Okay.
You have infinitely more perspectives than that one perspective.
I will say, because one of the critiques I hear a lot about humanity is we get really upset when animals are hurt, but we don't care about other humans, right? And so I did find it very interesting, and I really liked the choice that the dog turns out to be a mass murderer, because it's not just all of the animals are good and they're all innocent. It was the Scorpio and the frog, that allegory, very of it's just in my nature.
I don't know the Scorpio and the frog. Scorpion. What's the frog thing?
It's the scorpion and the frog, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So he's like, hey, frog, could I catch a ride on your lily pad? And the frog's like, you would kill me. And the scorpion's like, no, I won't kill you. We're buds. Just cruise me across the river. And the frog's like, okay, I can do you a solid, and you promised not to kill me. Let's go. And so the scorpion gets on the frog's back, and they get across the river, and then the scorpion kills the frog. And he's like, sorry, it's just my nature. How else do you expect me to be? That I just was surprised that even shown love and being rehabbed back, the dog still, it's in its nature, right? And I was very impressed, I guess, by that choice. There's a part of me that don't even think the dogs are real in this film. They're just such a metaphor that, and maybe I just was going really deep in my needing to believe they weren't, but there's almost a part of me that gets Lynchian about all of it, is there's such obvious metaphors of the people that they're connected to. They're not real to me.
Each dog represents the person that owns it.
Yeah. Is the physical embodiment of the pain and the suffering of that person. So it's just the externalized metaphor for each of their suffering, which is why I found it a little on the nose. I was sort of I'm already watching this play out, so I don't need the second. But it's an interesting choice.
Yeah.
And it is the whole framing of the film. I think it could be done without it, but to your point, Robby, it truly is the entire, it's completely the structure and bones of it all.
So El Chivo has all the dogs, and he's trying to take care of them, and he's trying to, I don't know if he's trying to escape a life as an assassin. He's trying to take care of all these dogs, and that's a very nurturing and a very caring side of him. But then he saves this dog who ends up being a psychopath, and that's the dog he ends up with, who is basically him. Mm-hmm. There are no other dogs. He doesn't get any more dogs that dog becomes friends with. It's just it's me, it's this dog. The world made us the way we are. We're the way that we are. And then we're going to walk off in the sunset together.
Those two, they're both born killers. They're both trained killers.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they both have killed many of their peers, but they both are deserving of redemption. They're mirrors of each other. Richie, the little dog with the supermodel, right? That dog goes under the floorboards and becomes invisible, hidden, right? So she's a supermodel who's known for her beauty.
Right.
And then she has an accident and now she's invisible. I think there's a reference to like being eaten limb by rats, right? And she's like losing limbs. And then in the beginning, I think it's also Kofi. And it's like the brother, he's in love with this woman he can't have. And so he starts getting into like seedy stuff, right? So he like gets into dogfighting. So they're like at that point they are like the dog and him are also similar, right? It's sort of like the dogs were just like these very obvious external embodiments of the suffering of each of their owners.
Robby, when were you in or?
I was in at the car chase. And then during the first story with the brothers and Octavio falling in love with his sister-in-law and them trying to build a life together. And then I was out when the story switched.
Ooh.
I was like, what is going on and why are we doing this? I was too invested in the first story to accept the other two. And I could appreciate what they were doing, but I couldn't leave that first story, and I couldn't shake off the residue of that first story. These are the lives that are interacting, and then they're shooting off into a different story. And then when Act 3 started, I was a little bit angry because I was like, wait a minute, what happened to this first couple? And I don't respond to movies like that. I was surprised because I'm normally willing to go along for the ride. But there was something about it that really upset me.
I was very struck at how much it kept reminding me, it's a movie. Like it was like, it is 3 different stories. And like, it felt very much like we are using the techniques of film to tell the story. So here is like a very stylized color palette. And here are 3 interwoven stories. And then like the people are popping up in the different ones. Like it felt very, like I was constantly confronted by the fact that I was watching a movie and this is a movie and we're doing movie things to tell a story. And that pushed me out of it a lot. I never like fell into the stories like I was there. I never forgot I was watching a film because everything felt so specifically chosen. And at first that just annoyed me. And then I kind of was like, who's to say that that's not also valuable, right? Like it is a film. And like, what if we do play with like, I'm making a movie, here's movie things. Let's do like that that can be valid too. Like I don't have to just lose myself in a story for it to be good filmmaking. It can announce itself. So I actually kind of like it made me think as a filmmaker about like, like that can actually be an interesting thing to play with. Like it doesn't have more or less value, even if in 2026, I think I'm sort of like, oh, I want to be like immersed in a film and forget that the camera's there. It was like making such loud decisions that you almost couldn't stay in the story.
Damn. I feel like I need to say that I was in from the very first frame, and even the chapter titles didn't take me out.
Which was the first frame, right?
It is always making a movie from the first frame, and I could not. The chapter titles in it are like, chapter titles are my number one. Dude, you don't do that in a fucking movie.
Like I missed the first one somehow, like because I didn't know it was going to be a pattern of 3. And the second one, I was like, how is this Cole's favorite film? He hates those. Cole does a lot of things to troll me, like as a friend. And if you actually hated me, this would be like the ultimate troll. It would literally be like, here's all of Jaclynn's favorite things, but with so much dog murder. Like if we had gotten married and then we got divorced, you could just give me this film, like dedicate it to me.
I definitely would have written and made this film, but the opening title card would have said, to Princess fucking Jaclynn.
That's amazing. A real nickname I was given in college. I didn't know about for years. PFJ is apparently what I was called. It's an impressive piece of filmmaking. Mm-hmm. And it does a lot of complicated things quite well. It does interweave stories well. It does the dog metaphor quite on the nose, but still well, in a way that is actually quite challenging, but looks pretty easy in the script. And it's actually pretty hard to have pulled off. I was very impressed by the attention to detail. I was very impressed by El Chivo. Like he had these long fingernails and they were dirty. Like under his fingernails were dirty. Like nothing about this film felt like, oh, we built a set and now we had to pretend it's worn, or like nobody was like, look at my little costume. Like it was gritty and it was dirty and it felt lived in and real. Mexico City did feel like its own character, and it was incredible. Like there's so much detail in the scenes and in the framing, and I was in awe of that. I like it's what I always want whenever I'm trying to describe to Cole what I want a scene to look like. I'm saying that I want a colorful set. I want a set full of like detail and color. So I really enjoyed that.
It's such a brutal world.
Yeah, it felt like it wanted to say like love, like life is hard and love's a bitch, right? But it wasn't about love to me. So I was like, well, then what is it trying to say? Is it about trying to fill your internals up with false externals? But I don't know that that's actually what it was trying to say. Cole, what about you?
What's the number one thing I want to say about this? Apparently I wrote 2 things down. Statement 1, I haven't read these in a week, and I wrote them while crying, so I don't know what's in them.
Aww.
This is not an overstatement, but most, if not every, quote unquote, raw, visceral, authentic film since this one uses the language of Amores Perros. Oh, and this is a wildly anachronistic word. I don't want to read this, but when I first read about this film, it was described as creating quote unquote hyperlink cinema. Who even knows what a hyperlink is?
Please help me welcome for the 25th anniversary of Amores Perros, its star, Gael García Bernal.
Most of the people that were there, we hadn't ever done a film before.
Okay, and this might sound like crazy science fiction, but it was true. I arrived and I didn't ask anybody if action meant action of the character or action of that the scene starts. And I remember there was I would follow Vanessa, who was our, she was the most experienced actress in the that I played with. She told me, no, action is when the scene starts. Like that's when you go, okay. So when they say action, okay, perfect, okay, and action the first time. So.
I think subconsciously I'm so obsessed with it because it's what I saw growing up, which take that with whatever grain of salt until you hear the rest of this. Well, my father was not rich. He was poor, or at least he grew up very poor. In the capitalist world that we live in, I have been trained to think that men are attractive only for their money. This guy who gave up everything to be with the supermodel in the film, who spent most of her life needing medical care from him, just like my mother needed medical care from my father for most of her life.
So Cole, have you realized that you are Octavio, and then the second one, I guess you did realize was your mom and dad?
Yes.
Yeah, I was like, whoa. Oh, it was intense. I just was like, I just was like, Cole's Octavio, his mom and dad are Valeria and Daniel. And then I think it's you and your dad in the last one. Your dad's the hitman, or I think the idea of an apology to you, right? When I saw that, I was like, whoa, damn.
Oh, an apology would be real nice.
Yeah,
we're the girl on the other end of the phone line, being like, you can't call now.
It was heavy. I was like, whoa, I feel like I just saw Cole so naked, but internal organs naked.
Oh my God, cover your ears. It's not pretentious if you mean it in your heart.
To put a better word on the reason that I connected with Worthy so quickly was El Chivo is a mercenary. And I feel like myself and Worthy can from time to time be intellectual mercenaries. That is a boring fucking idea. I'll make it really fucking good, you idiot.
That's it. Intellectual mercenary is quite the term, but I agree with your definite, you two do the thing you just described. I'm not sure I'm willing to allow intellectual mercenary, but yeah, I'll make it really good. I would say though, could you imagine Cole if and Robby too, but Cole's been sort of, there for a lot of my life and dark moments. But like, let me just say it to both of you. Could you imagine, you guys, if I showed up next week and I was like, guys, my dead dad broke into my apartment twice. And then he took a photo of my stepdad and put a photo of him over the top, then framed it and set it above my bed. I feel like we're supposed to have this emotional moment watching it. Like, wow, look at this hitman trying to make an amends with his daughter. But can you fucking imagine? I can't imagine. Like, my dead dad broke into my apartment, framed a photo of himself over my bed and just left. What would we do? That would be terrifying. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's so fucked. I'd be like, get out of my life. And then left a bunch of like dead like he killed a bunch of people and then left me all that money. So I now have $200,000 worth of like dead people money. Yeah, under my pillow. Thanks, Dad. Honestly, I was cool with you being dead. That was like so wild to me. I was like, that's horrible. That's where I was like, that man's a narcissist. Like, she doesn't want, no daughter wants that. She didn't come home and go, my dad's alive and he kills people for a living. Gosh, I hope we connect soon. I'm so glad he left me that weird message on my answering machine. I feel so safe. My killer father is able to get into my apartment at any time.
Yeah.
Just imagine me telling you that story, Cole. But what I did see was like a dad making an apology to a child, and I felt it in my heart for you. But then I thought about because my dad's dead. If he actually just broke into my house and left me a bunch of money, what I would do with that.
I wouldn't know where to take you or what to do with
I wouldn't either. I'd be like, he's going to find me no matter where I go. Like, what am I going to do? Go into the Witness Protection Agency? The man's already found me.
It's already found.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a hard one. That's a hard one. Like to be like, you know, a movie is pushing something very sentimental on you.
Yeah.
And then you're like, that's creepy.
Hold on a second.
Really creepy.
Like the entire film of Love Actually, right? Like it was like, oh, romantic. And then you're like, hold on. Like the entire film of Love Actually, right? Like it was like, oh, romantic. And then you're like, hold on.
Oh, that's really interesting. In thinking about what other films were highly influenced by the interconnected nature of the storytelling, weaving back and forth, Love Actually keeps coming up as, technically, that's right up down the same path.
Yep.
But now it's even more inspired by it when you think about creepy things that people didn't want in their lives.
But that are told sentimentally, where you initially were like, oh. But I just kept thinking, what? That would be so scary.
Yeah. I'm looking up the interconnected movie.
What are other ones?
Interconnected stories.
Love Actually.
And Love Actually is on there. Do the Right Thing. Amores Perros. Shortcuts. Go. Magnolia.
Go.
Traffic. Yeah. Go. Traffic. Pulp Fiction. Babel. Crash. Cloud Atlas. Contagion. Yeah. Syriana. Oh, and Happiness.
Is that the one with the Y? HAPPY-ness? Happiness?
No, it's Todd Solondz. The lives of several individuals intertwine as they go about their lives in their own unique ways, engaging in acts which society as a whole might find disturbing in a desperate search for human connection. It's depressing. Therefore, happiness. like the movie we're talking about right now.
Love is Dogs.
Yeah.
I can't get over, sure, you've bought a house you can't afford, which is crazy, but I just can't imagine a dog falling under the floorboards and you just literally ignore it for days. I just can't imagine a world where you're like, I'm just going to let this dog starve to death under my floorboards. Like, I can't imagine any human. That was such a wild, it's hard to like that guy. Especially because the dog's going to die and then it's going to smell and you're going to have to do exactly the same thing, which is rip up a bunch of floorboards until you find the dog. So why would you not just do it to save its life? And anyway, that was wild to me. And he's rich. He apparently over leveraged himself with this house to impress this supermodel, but that was bananas.
The tearing up of the floorboards and letting the dog either be there or not be there, and it's going to take 3 days. I just saw that as a very elegant yet heavy-handed telltale heart sort of illusion.
Right. Nice catch.
Yeah. Because it was like the dogs weren't real. That felt like that had a surrealness to it to me.
So Guillermo has this idea of do these 3 stories structurally that we start talking about it, and but it was a 160-page long, 36 drafts. He had a car accident that impacted his life, and a dog that became wild. I have one of my best friends, the father abandoned them, and then the dog actually went into the thing down the broken wood floor of that. They didn't have money to do it, and then the department started smelling, and then the dog was dead, and they had to broke everything. So we started to share all these kind of things, and it took 3 years, and Guillermo just submerged it, did an amazing work.
Questions we want to ask each other. Do you have anything written down for questions you want to ask each other?
Cole, I have a question for you. Are you okay? Are you okay? I know the answer to that, which is no, but
no one else knows.
Yeah. Are you okay, Cole? How can we help?
I could use a real good cry and a good night of sleep. Have you seen any other films from the Death trilogy?
What is this trilogy of death that you're talking? Like, are these 3 movies all by him?
It's this one, it's 21 Grams, and it's Babel, right?
Okay.
And they all share a language. Each one of them, correct me if I'm wrong, because I don't know for sure about this with Babel. Each one of them is 3 interconnected stories. So like they share the idea of like one event with 3 interconnected stories. Is that true, Cole?
I don't know if it's exactly 3 stories with Babel, but it is multiple interconnected stories with Babel based on one event. 30 seconds of favorite lines.
Cole, you go first.
Number 1 is, "This is heavy shit," which is when the brother trying to take his brother's wife away to another city finally has the plan all put together, and the woman says, "Hold up, this is heavy shit."
She's right.
The one reasonable person.
Yeah, exactly. Hold on. It's real. Robby, what were your favorite lines?
I had 2. One was El Chivo, who is the character I like the least, but he had the best lines. One was, "Look, you asshole, I'm offering you something to drink, and if you were a little perceptive, just a little, you realize that for now, I'm not going to kill you, jack off. Rum, water, or milk."
That's a great line.
I loved that he was offering that guy rum, water, or milk.
That's so defining of character. Like that's great.
Yeah. And the other one, I don't know why I liked this line so much, but when he was talking to the sister-in-law, or when the sister-in-law catches him at the funeral, he just says to her, "You're hostile, sister-in-law." And I just really like, again, that directness and the succinctness of it.
I had to double check with Robby. There was something I needed to tell him that I was like, oh, you know what? This is Robby. I'm going to be like Midwestern, nice, and polite about it. And he wrote back to my being Midwestern, nice, and polite, quote, "Your ability to cut to the chase is impressive."
You tried so hard, Cole.
Yep.
That's amazing. That's so perfect. That may be my favorite moment of the pod. I liked the line because it was so casually said, and perhaps this is common in Mexico City, but I just found it very funny. Where it's one of the scenes during the accident. It's like during El Chivo's part, and just somebody goes, "I have a machete in my car." It's so casual, and everybody was like, "Cool, grab that." Yeah. Like, I don't know that I would be calmed. Even if I was trapped in a car, I don't know that I'd be calmed by a man screaming, I have a machete in my car. I'll be right back. Like, I'd be like, about to go from bad to worse. I found that really funny. And then it was at the end. I think it's written on screen after the closing shot, and it just says, because we are also what we have lost. And I really liked that. I think that's so true and accurate and dark and beautiful, because we are also what we have lost. It made me like the film more, because I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I believe that. I believe we are very much the things we've lost. Mm-hmm. Like, they don't subtract from us, they add to us.